This is the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and all the news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by the Philadelphia Protestant Home, Rob's Automotive and Collision, SEPTA, The Capitol Grill, Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, Ventresca's Custom Clothing, Chickies and Pete's, Begley, Carlin, and Mandio Law Firm, Hand and Stone Spa, Penworth Financial Services, BCWSA, and CJ's Tire and Automotive. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. It is great to be back with you. We are at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern, and it's a beautiful, beautiful night. This is a beautiful Chickies and Pete's, wide open, great big windows. It's a great place to come. Wonderful food, and if you are within the sound of my voice, come on out. We have a great guest tonight, former Eagles quarterback A.J. Feeley. A.J., it is great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. I can't believe it's football season already.
It is football season. Isn't that amazing?
It's crazy.
And we're one game into it.
I know. Well, and 1-0 too.
Yeah, good to be 1-0.
It's great to be 1-0.
And it was an escape, believe me. I had the feeling that if the Lions had the ball one more time, they were either going into overtime or it was going to be a long trip home.
Yeah, that might have been the case, but a W is a W, right?
It is.
I mean, they won with more points on the scoreboard by the end of the time. So
yeah, they did have 38 points.
Yeah,
you would have beat Jared Goff.
I don't know about that. I mean, I'm thinking about that game. I mean, Jalen Hurts, if you don't have a guy like that with his legs and be able to run, I don't know if you're a prototypical quarterback that can't escape the pocket and make plays like that wins a game. I mean, it's crazy how the game's evolved to where a really mobile quarterback truly benefits a team.
That's great, and you're seeing more and more of that in the National Football League today. You look around; it's almost unusual to find a quarterback who's kind of a Matthew Stafford, who's basically stands in the pocket and throws. I mean, even Stafford can run a little bit, but you don't see that much anymore.
You don't. I mean, the RPO game is changing the quarterback position a little bit. But, even some of those plays that Jalen ran on weren't necessarily RPOs. They were, escaping the pocket and seeing a wide open space and making a play out of it. I mean, a lot of those long runs were really impressive. Reminded me of 5 back there.
Yeah. The young 5.
Yeah, the young 5, for sure.
The older 5, that part of his game left.
Yeah, he would have probably found number 4, number 5 in the progression.
That's for sure. Wow. What do you think of Jalen?
I think he's underrated. I mean, I've said it all along. I think as a pocket passer, I think he does really well. I mean, people talk about him not being able to throw the long ball, but you saw there with the 3rd and short there in the game on Sunday that he throws the ball down the field to A.J. Brown and makes a play. I think he has. I think with every game moving forward, the confidence is going to gain. Obviously, winning on Sunday does a lot for his confidence, but I think he can do it all. I mean, it's time's going to tell, but I think going into it, he's got all the intangibles right now.
And I think he has the tangibles. People talk about the measurement of a quarterback's arm and the way that he can throw the deep ball, the bomb. Most of the bombs are under 40 yards, probably. Yeah. But I have always felt that the true measure, because you can go to any of the high schools around here and find a quarterback, a 16-year-old quarterback, who can load up and put the ball 60 yards downfield. But I always thought the measurement of a quarterback's arm strength is the velocity with which he can deliver that 22-yard out pattern.
True, and spotting it. That's the key. I mean, you don't have to have a really, really strong arm in this league. I mean, it helps to be able to escape the pocket and to extend a play and be able to chuck it down 50 yards down the field. But for the most part, if you're on time and you can spot the ball and put it in a spot where a receiver or a runner can catch it while they're running and not have to stop their momentum, then you're giving yourself a chance.
Yeah, you know what? I'm all for the mobility. And what was it, 3rd and 15, and he got 16 once, and that just really stresses a defense. But he took a lot of hits, and I don't see that's sustainable over 17 games. He didn't make it through last year either. And when you kind of look at some of these other guys, like quarterbacks that like to run, Lamar Jackson, he missed 4 last year.
Yeah.
I think it catches up to you. And Kyler Murray, he missed the last 3. It kind of catches up to you. So
it truly does. I mean, if there's times when to extend a play and to try to get a first down by maybe gaining 1 or 2 yards and engaging in a hit, but there's certain times where it doesn't benefit you by taking a necessary hit and getting down and being short a yard or 2, right? I mean, especially if it's first or second down, it's unnecessary to me.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but a lot of times in this game it was not a run by design.
No,
it was a run because the offensive line, which is a very talented offensive line, for some reason had trouble picking up the blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the game film and looked at it like that, so I don't know where the pressure was coming from, but there were times there, you could tell on some of those longer runs where, 1 and 2 were possibly being covered and he saw an opening, and there was a lot of daylight there for a lot of those runs.
that's what it is, too. On back-to-back days, Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen confirmed that it's 1-2 reads and then, bail out or
push up in the pocket, see if you can find 3. If you can't, then if you have the ability to run, which he does, then get to the line of scrimmage and try to make a play. But if there's someone in front of you, it looks like he's going to take your head off, I definitely would get down.
AJ Feeley is our guest. AJ, I think you would have been perfect to run a lot of RPOs.
I don't know about that. I mean, I would enjoyed it for the aspect of spreading out the field and being able to read one guy and be able to get the ball out of my hands into playmakers' hands. But, I don't know if I would have had much in terms of extending the play and running for more than maybe 4 or 5 yards.
I thought you were pretty athletic.
Well, I guess maybe for my size, I could move laterally decent, but anything longer than maybe 8 or 9 yard
you
run.
could definitely beat Goff in a 40-yard dash.
I definitely would have gotten down. Let's put it that way. I'm not taking a hit.
Did you see that 10-yard scramble by Goff for a first down?
Yeah, that was impressive.
It took like a minute.
It took a minute.
Yeah, you could definitely beat him.
But you know what? He faked Avonte Maddox out of his shoes.
Gave him a little pump fake? Or,
he
did. He cut back. I did see
cut
that.
back.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
that
for
should
a guy
be
like
finable.
that, for a pocket passer to be able to do that, yeah, it's really impressive.
I think looking at Goff in this game, I think the Eagles gave him too much time. I thought they got to him one time, and that was on a bad snap, and it was Cox and Brandon Graham shared a sack. But other than that, he had too much time.
He did. I mean, but he's a pocket passer, so if you do give him time, he's going to find open receivers, right? I mean, somehow the Eagles are going to have to find a way to put pressure. Ideally, they'd like to do it with 4 guys, but if you mix up the blitzes and bring in an extra guy, I'm trying to think back in the game, and I don't even think they even did any full blitzes or cover 0 where they brought the whole house.
No.
And they never really did that. So, I mean, hopefully they have that in their arsenal and they can disguise that and do that moving forward.
I think Jalen Hurts, over the couple of years that he's been here, is criticized far too much. I think, and I'm talking about on the talk shows by some of the writers, where they say his arm is not sufficient. He's got plenty of arm, as you pointed out. He's got a strong arm. But I think he's got the ability to be a top 10 quarterback as he continues to grow.
Definitely. I mean, just playing within the offense and his ability to, extend the play, I think gives him a leg up on a lot of guys in this league, for sure.
Okay, and that's all well said. How does a guy like Devontae Smith, who I think is a really talented receiver, the first-round pick, how does he not get a catch? And the throws that were his way, they were not good throws.
I don't know. I kind of look at that game as a kind of anomaly for him. I mean, he's too good not to get involved. I just think the looks, what they were getting is why they targeted Brown so much is that, there was guys that he was having single safety in his one-on-one matchups, and he was going that way. I don't think it has anything to do with
Hurts? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of times people get caught up in, as a quarterback, it's not our job necessarily to find a guy to throw to. It's letting the play dictates and the coverage dictates where we're going, right? You'd find the best matchup regardless of how good the guy is.
Well, in that respect, I know Goddard was open. a bunch of times, and he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So he only had 3 catches. I think he had 4 targets.
Yeah, but they scored 38
Yeah,
points.
I mean, that's the-
you know,
I mean,
30,
it's like-
31 of them by the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to second guess.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter, right?
You know,
They scored 44 the year before.
Yeah, but I want to tell you something. I will bet you anything that against Minnesota, and they have a good defense, I will bet you that Devontae Smith has at least 6 or 7 receptions.
Yeah, I would think probably next game they're going to do a better job of trying to get him some easy throws.
They'll throw it to him
in
on the
space,
first
get
play.
him the first play,
Yeah.
give him something that we're, a quick out just to get him involved, right? I mean, I don't think he's the type of guy that would ever pout and
No.
be upset with the situation. Seems like an ideal teammate, right?
Absolutely.
And there's no there's no doubting his talent, right?
I'm not blaming it.
Sometimes the game just dictates based on what
Yeah.
they're doing, and just the looks. A guy doesn't get a ball. It's not a mark on him not being a great player or the coach is not targeting him. But obviously, down the road, he's going to get a lot of targets. I mean, there's no doubt about
look,
that.
He's a great player. But you know what? I watch A.J. Brown, and I say, how did Tennessee allow him to leave?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, last year was kind of a down year for him, right? In terms of compared to the year before, right?
He got banged up
he
just
got
a
banged
little,
up.
yeah.
He had a couple drops. I think the contract situation.
7 drops, yeah.
It's strange to think that him coming back, and having would have been his contract year this year, right? That a guy, they wouldn't keep him around to try to feel like, hey, let's see what we can get out of you. I'm shocked that they got rid of him.
I mean, I watched him all summer. I'm at training camp every day, and I just looked at him, and the word elite came out of my mouth. There's nothing he can't do, and with the ball in his hands, he turns into a running back.
Oh, hands down, he's massive. I mean, I couldn't imagine a DB trying to press him at the line of scrimmage and trying to stay with him.
Or Goddard.
Or Goddard, too.
Yeah,
I mean, across the board, they've got a lot of weapons.
How would you like to throw to these guys? I mean,
these guys, it's not even, the speed's great, but it's the ability for them to get separation off a stick or off the line of scrimmage. It makes your job as a quarterback that much easier where you don't have to be perfect with the ball every single time because you've got a margin for error of like 1 or 2 yards because a DB's not staying with him.
People compare him ability-wise to Terrell Owens. And I go back and I think about Terrell Owens, and there was so much baggage, and there was so much stuff that you had to deal with. Him talking back to coaches, the ego, the all kind of histrionics that went on. A.J. Brown is a wide receiver without an ego. I mean, sure, he's got pride, but he's more along the lines of my partner in the broadcast booth, Mike Quick, and Harold Carmichael, who were great receivers, but were not big ego guys. He's a very down-to-earth, nice guy who doesn't mind sharing the load with Devontae Smith, with Quez Watkins, but he's a down-to-earth guy who is not going to be a coach's nightmare.
Yeah, and I think it helps to have a strong relationship with your quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could make the case for Donovan and T.O. that wasn't necessarily the strongest. Or it might have been early on. I wasn't here for that year.
It was the first year.
It was great. And then I think, when him getting hurt and the idea that we're going to continue to try to win games and we don't talk about players that are hurt and we're going to continue on to do that, which has been the motto when Andy was here for all those years and everybody else stepped up. And I think T.O. had a hard time with that because he had success that year and he thought that he was responsible for that success without truly realizing, if you look at the years past, we've always gotten to that point with the guys on the team, right? And I think for him, that was a huge ego thing where he couldn't accept that. And I, ruffled feathers with him and Don.
AJ, take us back. Who were your receivers when you stepped in and started for Donovan?
So I think my second year I played, we had Pinkston and
Todd
James
Pinkston.
Thrash, Chad Lewis, Freddie Mitchell was a slot guy. We had was Nate Brown, one of the wide receivers. Damian Douglas was another guy.
Wow.
What's his name from? We picked up what's his name from the Packers.
yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank on his name? He had the amazing catch there in Monday Night Football where he caught the ball on top, like falling down. Oh, gosh, what's his name? He was our slot guy, and Freddie kind of backed him up. But, if you look back at our guys, the fastest guy in our wide receiver room was probably Todd Pinkston, and he wasn't necessarily like great at the line of scrimmage.
No,
in
I mean, he
terms of
wasn't terrible.
He was terrible. If you got him in space and you gave him some space to run, he could gather some steam and go. But he wasn't a guy that was really, really quick. As I got my second stint coming here when we had Deshaun, that was a whole nother deal, right? I mean, Deshaun could do just about anything.
Anything.
Yeah. And he was young enough to where he was really coachable. He bought into the locker room, and he was doing everything that was asked of him.
Freddie probably could have been better than he was.
Yeah, Freddie was great. Freddie, you look at Freddie. Freddie had probably the best hands of any guy that was in that room. I mean, anything you threw to him, he caught, right?
Mm-hmm. He actually said in a post-game interview one day, "I'd like to thank my hands for being so great."
For all the things that Freddie said, I mean, that was very true. I mean, Freddie caught anything that was thrown to him.
Amazing. Oh, we have to take a break. AJ Feeley is our guest, and we'll be back right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Check out Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy select craft beers, seltzers, and wines for $5, plus feature cocktails for $7 on our special happy hour food menu. We call it the Bar Board, with world-famous crab fries, tasty pretzel nuggets, and get ready, Curds-A-Roni, with crispy bacon and Dijon cheese sauce. Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City. Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin Tires offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on BF Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable.
Enjoy a world of Italian wine and cuisine in nearby Philadelphia at Grand Cafe La Cola. This Italian landmark cafe offers a wide variety of Italian options for both lunch and dinner, and before you leave, try their award-winning gelatos. Offering an online market for your favorite meats, cheeses, coffee, and much more, it's Grand Cafe La Cola website at grandcafelacola.com. Call them today at 215-568-5600. That's 215-568-5600. Or visit them at their flagship location at 1716 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. The world of Italian cuisine is only a 30-minute drive away at Grand Cafe La Cola.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, for an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are, Merrill, AJ, and Bob Grotz. AJ Feeley, our guest, former Eagles quarterback. AJ, how close do you pay attention to what's going on in the National Football League?
I would say, I'm looking at things maybe 3 or 4 times a day. But it's tough when you're not there every single day watching practice, or you're not seeing like the coach's copy of film. It's tough to truly have a heartbeat of what's truly going on, right? I mean, but I have a bird's eye view, and I have a little bit of knowledge of what's happening.
Did you make it out to training camp at all this summer?
I didn't. I made it out to the alumni game for the preseason and took my oldest son and experienced that and saw a bunch of my old teammates, which was great. The Eagles did a great job of welcoming us and being hospitable and showed us the ropes, and it was great. My kid loved it.
The expectations for this year's team are great. They're greater than they were the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl back in 2017, actually. Technically, they won in 18, but it was after the 2017 season. And nobody was talking Super Bowl going into that season. Things just evolved, and the Eagles did an amazing job of replacing people like Jason Peters, who went down. Jordan Hicks went down. Chris Maragos, the best special teamer, went down. Caleb Sturgis, the kicker, went down. They got somebody by the name of Jake Elliott. And then they ultimately lost Carson Wentz, but they won the Super Bowl. This team seems to have shored up a lot of areas, and on paper, they may be the best Eagles team I've seen in a long time, but on paper and on the field are two different things.
That is true. I mean, you have to assume there's going to be injuries down the road, right? Mm-hmm. So you're only as good as your backup players and sometimes your third players. So, yeah, on paper, the expectations are really high. They filled a lot of voids in the offseason. The draft was exceptional. They've got some true playmakers on offense. And defensively, they filled up the corner spots. Probably their biggest weakness is maybe their linebacker spot. But up front, on paper, they have guys that can get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I got to say this, too. The other thing they have this year is the easiest schedule I've ever seen since I've been on the beat. I mean, these opponents are unreal. I mean, they do have talent. They upgraded, but all right. After the Vikings, who didn't make the playoffs last year, the Commanders, the Jaguars, the Cardinals, none of them made the playoffs. The Cowboys won't have Dak Prescott. The Steelers are thoroughly rebuilding.
Yeah, but they won last week.
Yeah, but they're without JJ or
they lost
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. Yeah,
right. I mean, I look at this schedule, AJ, and I think
the schedule can fool you, though. It's still beginning of the year. You have no idea, the identity of a team.
Right. I think they could go 10-0.
Think about so many teams during the middle, going into the season. They're not expected to do anything, and they come out on top, right? So there's a couple of teams in there that probably we're going to play that more than
You're right.
likely, or of the top 5 of the next 5 weeks, there could possibly be 1 or 2 that end up making the playoffs, even though their expectations going into it is that it's going to be a down year for them.
Yeah, I mean, who expected Cincinnati to go far last year, let alone to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, anytime you played Cincinnati, you always kind of thought the expectation was that we were going to win.
Yeah, I mean that's changed. But the Commanders won't have Chase Young.
Chase Young isn't back yet?
No, he won't be back. He's got to sit out at least 4 games. The Cardinals are going to be without Devontae, their best receiver.
Yeah.
He's suspended, I think, 6 games. And, the Steelers now Watt. The Texans, I think that's a win anyway. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking 8-0, 10-0, and I said this before the season started. So
listen, I will be tremendously pleased if next Tuesday night we're sitting here and the Eagles are 2-0, because this Vikings game is tough.
It's tough.
I just watched tape of the Minnesota Vikings today, and they are a terrific football team. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. He may not be Patrick Mahomes. He may not be Aaron Rodgers, but Kirk Cousins can play.
Kirk Cousins can play. You want to talk about a guy that's underrated and underappreciated. That guy has been doing it for a long time and doing it really, really well.
Their offensive line, the interior, very, very weak. From guard, center, guard, they replaced all those guys.
Yeah, but he gets the ball out of his hands.
Oh, he does.
So
he throws
fast.
everything on time. Yeah,
and he does, and he has Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
who's amazing. And not only that, he has Jalen Reagor now in his arsenal.
Yeah. Well,
did he play last week? Did he
returned.
Did he catch?
He had a punt return for 7 yards.
I think he dropped it too.
No,
right?
I don't know about that, but he did have a couple of fair catches.
He still got 7. Well, anyway, I'm looking at the schedule, and I
don't even look at the schedule.
I'm counting 8 wins away, and then I said it could be 10.
On paper it looks great, right? Yeah. But I will say, as a player on a team, it's always nice coming in as the underdog, right? I mean, there's you don't have the expectations of expecting to beat these guys and beat them,
They're going to be favored.
Single-handedly do it, but to be an underdog, it's always a great thing going into the game because you have nothing to lose, right? The expectations that you're not going to win anyway, so sometimes you play your best games that way.
You do. I use the expression, and it's a cliche, but NFL football is a war of attrition. Each week, people go down. Each and every week. It's more important when you play a specific team than who you're playing. I mean, I said to somebody, if you can tell me who's going to be lining up for the Eagles on December 24th against the Cowboys, and who's going to be lining up for the Cowboys.
I know who's not going to be there.
Who?
Dak Prescott.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
December 24th? I mean, listen, you'll have a much better idea.
Yeah, okay.
December 24th. All right.
And how many weeks is that now? That puts him at 8 weeks or 10 weeks?
Who?
Dak Prescott.
Yeah. He'll be back,
He should be back by then.
Said
But again,
8.
Look, Russell Wilson had the same injury last year and never came back to form.
Well,
he had a bad season.
You got to ask AJ about this.
Did you ever have a thumb injury?
I did. I had a gamekeeper thumb, which is the same thing, but it didn't break, right? And it takes, to truly throw a football and to put pressure on it without having pain, it takes 6 weeks, and that's not a break, right?
Minimum,
he's got a break, and he's got plates in there. He's got to fuse the
He's
bone.
got a pin.
And to be able, you have to realize your thumb is the one you put the most pressure on the ball with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
right.
you're not. If you can't do that without pain, it's hard to be accurate with the football.
Did you hurt yours on a follow through hitting a helmet?
Same thing. Yeah, I got caught.
He didn't hit a helmet. He actually hit an arm.
Yeah.
Coming at him.
So my last year playing, I actually broke my thumb, but the gamekeeper where he broke his down here, but up top, I did it here, and I was out 5 weeks, and at 5 weeks trying to throw a football was impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you in Miami at the time?
And I was in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah. It's tough. The thumbs. You can play with broken fingers, right, on your throwing hand. Your thumb is a whole different story.
That's what I thought. I remember Jaws breaking his thumb, hitting it on the helmet of Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, I got to put
and
that down.
And how long was he out for?
Ron was out. Ron was out for several weeks.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not back by 10 weeks.
And I don't think Ron had surgery. I don't know that he broke it, but he injured it.
Yeah. So he probably tore the ligament there, the gamekeeper deal. Yeah.
That's the worst thing at quarterback.
As a thrower, it's the worst thing.
Thrower.
Yeah, it's the worst thing.
I always, Jerry Jones came out today and said, well, we're going to have him back in 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? I hope he is back for the Eagles game because he won't be worth anything.
I would be shocked.
Yeah, I would too.
I would be shocked.
I think he just doesn't want anybody to give up their tickets right away, to
He's
sell them on the
salesman,
secondary
right?
market.
He's a salesman, for sure.
Well, he doesn't want his guys to sell them on the secondary market.
This is not.
So the other fans are.
This is not the same Cowboys team. They lost Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's now with the Browns. They lost Cedric Wilson. He's now with Miami. They have C.D. Lamb and some anonymous people.
And Gregory, they didn't get any pressure. They lost Gregory too. They thought they have him.
I mean, they were trailing Tampa Bay 19-3 before Dak Prescott got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you watch him. I saw the game. It's like you don't know who. There's only really one guy that you feel like they can get the ball to, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Ezekiel Elliott's the same runner that he was when he came into the league, right? I mean, I don't think he's that explosive. I think he's a guy that can put his head down and muscle you, 4 or 5, but he's not all explosive. And plus, the sad thing is the Cowboys, you would think with all the money they had, they could have spent it on the offensive line and shore that up, right? I mean, you have all this money invested in the quarterback.
Very curious off-season moves,
Why aren't they putting guys in front of him to really protect him?
That are on one-year contracts or something. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we will be back with AJ right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicken Pete's College Football is back. Come join us for XL College Football Saturdays every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. We have you covered. Ice-cold domestic draft personal pitchers for just $5. Plus a wing special for you and your crew like no other. 40 classic or boneless Chicken and Pete's award-winning wings for just $60. Choose from buffalo, barbecue, dry rub, or the new kid on the wing block, spicy Thai peanut wings. XL College Football Saturdays, only from Chickies and Pete's.
Former Feeley Tommy Green, and here's the pitch. More people are online every day to check and pay their bills. Now you can have your BCWSA utility bill delivered electronically. Enrollment couldn't be easier. Just go to bcwsa.net or call 800-222-2068. With electronic billing, you have control to see your bills whenever you want and enjoy the convenience of viewing and printing up to 13 months of your previous bills. Best of all, the service is free. Sign up for e-billing at bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs. A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
For more than 125 years, the Philadelphia Protestant Home has been family to seniors living independently or in personal care and skilled nursing. PPH also provides peace of mind security to eligible residents who no longer can afford their living expenses. PPH offers spacious studio 1- and 2-bedroom apartments with balcony, patio, and garden view options. Call now to schedule a tour, 215-697-8000, or visit us on the web at pphfamily.org. At PPH, we're family.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO today. Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are with A.J. Feeley, our guest on this Tuesday night at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. And it is right here on 1490 AM and 107.3 FM. WBCBsports.com is the place to see it live. A.J. Feeley is our guest. And now it is this time for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Bagley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689, 215-806-3689. Bob, you can take care of that in 2 words.
Yeah, Derek Barnett is the injury, and everyone should know by now. He tore an ACL, and he won't be back this year. And the guys that we're looking at, we were just talking about that. You look for Brandon Graham, who didn't start last week, to get back in the starting lineup, and Teron Jackson will be one of the guys that rotates in. And you'll probably see Milton Williams, who plays a lot of defensive tackle. You'll probably see him outside, too.
And, of course, you have Hassan Reddick, who's called a linebacker, but he's really an edge rusher, right, A.J.?
Yeah, I mean, you could plug him in on the weak side end as well, not having standing up on the outside for sure.
I don't know if he could set the edge, though. That's the thing about him. And those pass rushers like that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really and that's one thing Milton Williams will do, by the way, set the edge. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Jonathan Gannon's got a lot of decisions to make on exactly how he wants to fit all these guys in. He has a lot of new pieces. And, Merrill, that can be part of the reason why they blew a 31-14 lead, right?
Well, it could be. I don't take the early games of a season, the September games, as something that gives me the total view of what a team is all about. They come out of a training camp where they don't tackle to the ground. They come out relatively healthy, and it may help them in the long run. But I think the first 3 or 4 games, A.J. Feeley, are still a feeling-out process.
Yeah, I think you establish your identity week 2, and by week 3 and 4, I think both sides of the ball have an ability to assess what they're good at and what they're not good at, right? Week 1, everybody's fresh. And, for the defensive guys, it's, the way training camp's going now, it's like you're figuring out angles and how they're going to take guys to the ground and how they're going to attack it. I mean, it's kind of a learning process in week 1 for sure.
That sounds funny, but it's true, yeah.
I know one thing. When you were quarterbacking, you would have loved to have played behind an offensive line that featured Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson at the tackles. Your center would have been Jason Kelsey, and your guards would have been Landon Dickerson and Isaac Ciamalo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take anything away from our front that we had when I was there as well. I mean, with Runyon and Trey Thomas.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I there's no complaints there. I thought at the time, I mean, having played for the Eagles and then getting traded to Miami and seeing what I was dealt with down there compared to the Eagles, I mean, it was night and day. I mean,
you're right.
Eagles were always exceptional in terms of having an offensive line that did a great job of protecting the quarterback.
Who was the center?
We had Hank Fraley, who was more than capable, was great, and we had a Pro Bowler in Mayberry that was on the right side.
Jermaine Mayberry.
Jermaine, and at times it was a swing between Wellborn and
Artis Hicks. No?
Artis was there my second stint,
Okay.
but early on it was Wellborn and Mayberry were the two guards, and you had Runyon and Trey Thomas on the outside.
Both guys, Runyon and Thomas, went to the Eagles Hall of Fame.
They're great. I mean, they were great players.
Yeah,
I
forgot about
and
that.
Mayberry was a Pro Bowler as well. I mean, he was underrated.
But I think, in all honesty, I think Hank Fraley was serviceable.
Definitely.
But Jason Kelsey's Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, but it's night and day. Yeah, for sure. Honey buns, as we called him, Hank Fraley, he couldn't move as well as Kelsey, but, he'd get it to the outside, and he was smart and knowledgeable, so he took a lot of decisions off our plate as quarterbacks in terms of protections because he was so cerebral, which I'm sure Jason's the same way.
He's the offensive line coach at Detroit.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
Yeah.
And Deuce Staley is the running back.
Yeah, I saw that on the Hard Knock stuff. I've been seeing Instagram memes.
Did you watch that?
Of Deuce.
How would you have liked to have played for Dan Campbell?
I love him, man. I'm pulling for Detroit this year for that reason because he's so likable. I mean, he's passionate about the game.
Yep.
I remember him when he played the same way. I think, the players were responding to him. I mean, they played great against us. I mean, think about it. If we had an extra 5 minutes, they possibly would have beat the Eagles.
I remember him playing for the Giants.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, you saw him. He played really, really tough. And when he caught the ball, he was looking to hit you.
Yeah. That's Dan Campbell.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this week, it's the Minnesota Vikings. And as we talked about Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. Their offensive line may be shaky, but he gets it out of his hand.
Just the interior. The tackles are pretty good.
But they've got a lot of talent, led by one of the best receivers in the National Football League, number 18, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they're definitely got the key on him.
Thielen.
Right? I mean,
Thielen is really good.
Thielen is good too.
They got two weapons.
He's
But
really good.
Jefferson after week 1, I think you have to pay special attention to him in terms of how you're going to cover that matchup.
Yeah.
Boy, I think back to a few years ago. I guess it was 3 years ago, because the last 2 years, Mike Quick and I didn't travel. We did all the games from Lincoln Financial Field. The away games we did from a TV monitor because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But we're back traveling now. But the last time we were traveling, we went to USA Stadium in Minneapolis, and it was a track meet. The Eagles were overmatched against Kirk Cousins and that group. And that was before Justin Jefferson. Thielen drove them nuts.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, he can get the ball, he can spread it around. I mean, he's a more than capable quarterback. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he was a Pro Bowler this year. I mean, he's got the ability, and the thing with him is he gets the ball out quick. Everything's on time, right? He rarely makes bad decisions, which is a shock that why he gets knocked so much, and he's not up there with the best ones in the league.
I think because he's only won one playoff game.
Yeah,
so,
it's probably the case. But I mean, he's definitely an asset for that team.
Yeah. What do you think of they got a rookie head coach, and the rookie head coach or the first year head coaches, I think they were like 6-1 or something like that. That should benefit the Eagles, right?
It should, but I would say he comes from a pedigree there where offensively, I think he's pretty gifted in terms of his mind, in terms of creating mismatches and getting balls in space. I mean, it's kind of the whole Kyle
McVay,
Shanahan,
right?
Sean McVay,
Yeah.
that whole idea where offensively as a quarterback, it makes life so much easier when you can. You get easy completions by misdirection and creating space, moving guys around. So offensively, I think they're always going to do well, especially with him because he's got a knowledge of that. But as a rookie head coach, it's always tough to come in and walk into a locker room. Especially, I think he's maybe 40 years of age, right? I don't even know how old he is. I remember when he got drafted. He was a young guy that played for he got drafted by the Patriots.
He was from San Diego State.
San Diego State,
yeah. Right.
But yeah, I mean, at first it kind of seems that's the trend in the league now. Is these young coaches come in, they're either offensive or defensive minded, and they've been under the tree of somebody who's been really successful.
Yeah.
Well, they also have one of the toughest to bring down running backs in the National Football League in Cook.
Yeah, I mean that's another weapon, right?
My gosh.
And he's going to create matches there with the running game. I mean, they do a great job there. I mean,
well, the Eagles they'll fix that tackling up. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how easy that is to do because I watched tape of Cook today, and after you hit him, he drags you for 5 yards.
Yeah, he stays pretty low to the
He is
ground.
so strong.
And he's fast. He's really, really fast. Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. I mean, you talk about the schedule. That's going to be their toughest hurdle here probably for their first, 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, so you're challenging my 8-0, yeah.
And I'll tell you something about the defense.
Start, yeah.
What did they sack Aaron Rodgers 5 times last week?
Oh, I don't know.
They had at least 4. I mean, every time I looked at tape, I saw Aaron Rodgers falling backwards.
Yeah, and a lot of more coverage sacks, too. I mean, Aaron was having to hold on to the football, couldn't find a guy to go to, which is, you don't see that from him very often.
I almost thought he was taking some of those out of spite, because they didn't put enough weapons around.
I don't think you take sacks out of spite. No, I don't think that at all.
Not when you're that age.
All right, we'll take a break.
Yeah,
and we'll
that's
be
true.
back with A.J. Feeley right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Check out Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy select craft beers, seltzers, and wines for $5, plus feature cocktails for $7 on our special happy hour food menu. We call it the Bar Board, with world-famous crab fries, tasty pretzel nuggets, and get ready, Curds-A-Roni, with crispy bacon and Dijon cheese sauce. Chicky and Pete's all-new happy hour every weekday starting at 4 p.m. Chickies and Pete's.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Are you looking for a checking account with convenient access and digital tools that can flex to your needs? Then check out Penn Community Bank's Free Checking Plus. With no monthly balance requirement and no monthly service fee, plus all the handy banking services and features you want and need. Early direct deposit? Check. Overdraft grace? Check. Mobile banking and Zelle? Check, check. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/free plus to learn more. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. Ask for full details. Member FDIC.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
Don't hang out alone in the man cave this football season. Hang out at Cheerleaders with sexy entertainers, $4 Miller Lights, Jameson specials, and awesome game day prizes during all Sunday and Monday football games. Stop in before, during, or after the game to see your favorite entertainers and your chance to win an awesome game day prize. The most epic game day experience is at Cheerleaders Gentlemen's Club, where champions play. Open daily from noon till 2 a.m.
All tires aren't the same, and neither are all tire dealers. Michelin tires offer safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide exceptional performance and extraordinary value. BF Goodrich tires are built for drivers looking for high performance and aggressive styling. Trust the tire experts at CJ's Tire and Automotive in Fairless Hills. They'll get you in and out in no time, and their everyday low prices on BF Goodrich and Michelin tires can't be beat. CJ's Tire and Automotive. Better, faster, and more affordable.
Fall into relaxation at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. For an introductory price of just $69.95, enjoy the tranquility of their massage services and the rejuvenating glow their facial services provide. They even have specialty services such as a pumpkin facial or their signature hot stone massage. Restore, relax, and reset at one of Hand and Stone's 57 locations in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, for an introductory price of just $69.95. Call or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
The SEPTA Transit Police Department is hiring experienced officers and entry-level new recruits. There is no residency requirement and salaries start at $56,000. Benefits include tuition reimbursement, a steady, reliable schedule, and an opportunity to rotate through specialized units. Build your career in law enforcement. Join the department that keeps one of the largest transit systems in the country safe and comfortable for all who ride. Apply today at jobs.septa.org.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And A.J. Feeley is our very special guest here at Chickies and Pete's in Malvern. It is time now for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com. All right, AJ, give us the first key to an Eagles win over the Minnesota Vikings.
I think everything starts at the line of scrimmage, right? Positive plays. And secondly, I would say getting to the quarterback somehow, giving him different looks. Rushing, getting to him with 4 would be ideal, but changing up and maybe bring an extra guy or two and maybe rolling coverage to the Jefferson. I think that's going to be a key.
Bob, do you want to add a key?
Oh, absolutely. Get the ball to Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Spread the ball out. They're going to be looking for the Eagles to run. And the Eagles will be able to run, but I think it would be better if they ran their 4-minute offense rather than the entire game. Throw the ball. I say bombs away. They got Harrison Smith in the secondary, right? That's about it. I mean, Patrick Peterson, but Merrill, I think
he's pretty old.
I think he's older than this show, yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah.
He's still around, though.
Yeah, he's still getting it done. But I say throw the ball this week more than you did last week.
And I'll give you another one. Stick 2 guys on number 18. That's Justin Jefferson. He is just that prolific.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea of rolling coverage to him, changing up the look. Yeah, for sure. You got to key on that guy. But, they've got another guy on their side who's a Pro Bowler, has had some pretty exceptional years. I don't know where he's at in his career, but hopefully we'll find out on Sunday.
AJ, do you think a team like the Eagles, can they really just air it out more, or do they have to run? Do you think that's their identity?
My idea is as a quarterback, it's either you go in and, if I'm going to air it out, I want to spread it out because I can get identity shown in terms of what kind of looks, right? But if you're not doing that, you got to establish the run in order to keep people honest, right? But if you're going to air it out, if you're going to do it, then spread it out and give me something that I can get an idea of how many are rushing, and then I can isolate 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah, but I don't think you want Jalen Hurts throwing 40 times a game.
With those receivers, yeah. There's 3 touchdowns right there.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, time will tell, but I don't think. I wouldn't go into saying this is what we're going to do. They've got a great offensive line. Let's see what they can do.
But those 3 guys are their best guys.
Look,
Devontae,
Dalvin Cook is good, but let me tell you something. Miles Sanders is also a top-rate running back.
Yeah, he makes plays in space. He's quick. He can turn a small gain into a big hitter. So yeah, he's underrated as well.
And Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott are also very good
guys.
Very
capable guys. Yeah, they can run behind the line really well.
Yeah, I think that's a key.
I don't think Miles is as good on another team. I think that Jalen, because he stretches the field, and he he's running that read option. I think that makes Miles more effective.
No, I disagree. I think Miles is a star running back. The only problem that Miles has had is durability. But a healthy Miles Sanders is a top-flight NFL running back.
Yeah, he's definitely an asset for a team, for sure.
Absolutely.
I say get the ball to your 3 best players, and they are, altogether, A.J. Brown,
Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders.
Devontae Smith. Those 3 guys, get them the ball. Look at all the resources they invested. We saw what happened the other night with Russell Wilson, right? It came down to a last play, and what's the coach going to decide to do? Do you kick a 64-yard field goal, or do you give it to the guy you gave $200 million to? They kicked the field goal, and what he spent
Hackett, Nathaniel Hackett.
I saw
they're
it.
killing him today.
You lose some trust with that, don't
you?
Did
he have a timeout left?
I don't think so. No, I think they squandered.
He had three timeouts. They had 3 timeouts
Three
left.
timeouts left. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to second guess that because he missed it, but he didn't miss it because it was,
Right.
It was short. I mean, he barely missed it.
Speaking of that, Geno Smith didn't look like chopped liver.
Geno Smith played.
Now you sound like Billy Wardell.
An amazing
Yeah.
game.
Didn't he look good?
Oh, he looked amazing.
He really did.
Oh yeah, he played with a lot of passion. I mean, everything he threw was on the money.
Sometimes,
Can we just go on and pick the teams now?
Well, wait a minute.
Geno.
Sometimes it takes
not a fan.
It takes a little time for somebody to really come into his own. You look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees was okay in San Diego, but it wasn't until he left and they didn't re-sign him that he signed with the Saints and got together with Sean Payton and put together a Hall of Fame career.
Definitely. Yeah, Geno Smith, it's taken him a little longer, I guess, if you're going to compare him to Drew Brees. But
I'm not saying he's Drew Brees.
No, he's not Drew Brees. But, I mean,
he
he appeared to be more than capable last night. I mean, he played really, really well.
I think it was more a case of even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
No, I don't think he was a blind squirrel.
I don't think he's.
I'll tell you, he's a pretty impressive thrower. I mean, he can make any throw. I think that's been the knock on him, is that he knows he can make every throw, and so he gets baited into throwing things that aren't necessarily there because of him trusting his arm strength.
Look, he was playing with the Jets, and nobody looks good with the Jets.
No, and he was young, too. I mean, he was young, he was immature. I mean, you heard those stories about what was going on with his team. When he got his nose broke from one of his own teammates.
Yeah.
So,
I
don't think guys were playing for him. But, with the Seahawks, it seemed like everybody was behind him. I mean, he seemed like he literally had had the guys playing and rallying behind him.
The Eagles liked him before that draft, didn't they, Merrill?
I think they liked him. I don't think they loved him. All right, here are the games. We're going to pick 8 games, and let's see how we come out. All right, AJ, Cardinals Carolina at the Giants.
Let's go Giants.
Okay, Bobby.
Carolina.
Yeah. I think the Giants are going to be the second best team in the NFC East. I think
that's a fair assessment with Dak going down.
Yeah, and I think Daniel Jones has some ability.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think he's a great quarterback.
Okay, Cincinnati at Dallas.
Oh,
Cincinnati.
Did you really put that on there?
It's on there.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Okay, all right.
3 for Cincinnati.
The Commanders, who haven't commanded anybody. Washington at Detroit.
Detroit.
Bobby.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit, too. Yeah.
It's 3 for Detroit. All right, the Bears at Green Bay.
Oh, Green Bay all the way.
Yeah.
Green Bay? All right. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you lose Devontae Adams. They've lost a lot. That's a big part of Aaron Rodgers' success. I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Rodgers. He's a great quarterback. Yeah. But, boy, he misses Devontae Adams.
Yeah, he definitely misses him. But I think, he's done this year after year, has developed young receivers to become those special players that move on. So, I mean, there's somebody in there that's going to be the guy for him this year.
I think the Bears completed 3 passes last week, Merrill.
In the pouring rain.
Yeah.
That's something to do with it. Oh. All right, Tampa Bay at the Saints.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
Okay, we've got to move Tampa. 3 for Tampa Bay, okay. Seattle at the 49ers.
Seattle,
Bobby?
Oh, I like the 49ers.
Okay.
Even with the...
Miami at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Bobby.
Baltimore, yeah, they're on a mission.
Okay, and the Chargers at the Chiefs. Ooh. That's the Thursday night game.
That's going to be a great game. I'll take
Chiefs.
the Chiefs, yeah.
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay. My pick? All right. Cardinals, Carolina, Cincinnati, Detroit, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, 49ers, Baltimore, and Kansas City. All right, we're out of time. Thank you to Chris Ermer, our engineer.
Thanks,
AJ, you've been a great guest. We thank you for joining us. Bill Werndell has provided all the makeup, and Tim Berman, the catering. Thank you all. Good night from Chickies and Pete's in Malvern.
Transportation for our guests provided by LimoToday.com. Guests appearing in the Pro Football Report receive promotional consideration from Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse, Harrah's Resort and Casino in Atlantic City, and Ventresca Ltd., the men's store.
You've been listening to the Gwinnett Mercy University Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show was an exclusive presentation of 1490 WBCB, WBCB TV, and 610 Sports.